Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury.
Ach,
My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte.
okay.
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Alles. Wer sind ihre wahren Eltern? Wie sind sie zu den... ja.
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
Okay. Sie will also nicht Vampir werden.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
Oh, okay. Erzählen Sie mir von der Nachbarschaft. Was machen Sie hier?
What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Ja.
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Ja, ich mag die. Die ist cool.
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
Nette Einstellung.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night, since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Okay. Suffragette. Lass mich regieren die Bürger. Okay, so.
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time, even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
Doch, wir gehen direkt petzen. Entschuldigung. Ah, sorry. Ihre Mutter hat gesagt, ich über Vampire reden und sie redet über Vampire.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously, and the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Of course not. You have nothing to fear from me, or your mother.
Good to know. And don't worry, my mother told me everything I need to know about vampire tricks, their nature as well as features.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
Okay, die will uns mal gucken.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How is it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Das ist blöd halt, wenn die Mutter halt niemals altert und du bist schon über 50 und die Mutter sieht eher aus wie deine Tochter. Ah, okay, das wird nicht grau.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Mit Sicherheit. Und dann... Entschuldigung. Ich muss mal gerade gucken, wie viele Leute haben... Ach, falscher Knopf. Wie viele Leute haben wir hier eigentlich? Ach du lieber Gott, wieder so viele. Ich gehe noch nicht zum Askelon Club. Ich will erstmal hier jede Menge Leute kennenlernen. Ein soziales Netzwerk aufbauen. Charlotte, is new.
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
Okay. Wieder sehr viele Gespräche.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. With the epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
Okay. Er weiß Bescheid.
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from each other. And so many things have happened.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
Okay.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
Oh. Oh, er hat Migräne. Wie können die helfen?
Do you need medical assistance, Clarence?
It's a little late for visiting hours, don't you think?
Ach,
What can I say? I haven't lost my old habits.
I hope we're talking about the same habits, old friend.
jeder muss gesund werden.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Women die too in this war.
Okay, Venus. Müssen wir auch noch kennenlernen. Oh Gott, wir müssen so viele Leute kennenlernen. Ah. So, er geht da klopfen, ne? Und
Remember, don't let any strangers come into your house.
deswegen lässt sie dich auch nicht ins Haus. Entschuldigung. Kann ich nicht klopfen? Ah, ich kann nicht klopfen. Hä, ich muss doch irgendwie mit dem... Aber kann ich mit dem reden?
Support the equality between men
Good evening,
and
old chap.
women.
Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Hier ist nichts Neues. Ist auch nichts Neues. Okay, ich...
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Hm.
Women's right to vote is only the first step.
Okay, im Geschäft. Unbekannt. Okay, ich muss erst mit dem reden, damit ich gucken kann, ob sie...
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
Kein Ding. Okay, das ist der Händler, dem geht's gut. Okay. Okay.
What can you tell
Wieder
me
eine
about this place?
Fragerunde.
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
Finding
Probieren
a
würde
good
ich's, wenn sie sich
restaurant.
wirklich anhört.
Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
Okay. Wir kriegen wieder Nebenquests.
How is the situation in this part of town?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonders.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
Okay, er ist ein bisschen naiv und blind, habe ich so das Gefühl. Es ist falsch. Seien Sie nicht naiv. Sind Sie so blind? Seien Sie nicht naiv.
You cannot expect the newspapers to expose the truth while the war is still raging. I can assure you that the situation here is desperate.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit?
Nein.
For the thrill of it?
Okay.
Is it not a little too late to be trading?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
Okay.
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence.
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
Okay, der Typ ist ein bisschen durch, habe ich so das Gefühl.
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain je ne sais quoi of its own.
Okay, der ist aber kein Vampir, oder? Das wär's jetzt.
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
Okay.
Really? But you seem to be such a pleasant and sociable fellow.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
London's lone gourmet. What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
Er hat bestimmt schlechte Yelp-Bewertungen gemacht.